Hello, how are you doing? I hope our day is going fine. I want us to look at an area, the area of parenting. I applaud women and men who have given their time and attention to ensuring they raise global children, world class children, children with good morals and good upbringing. Did not just take enough of the parents' time, their money went into it, they gave it their all, and I appreciate them for that. Today, when we check different organizations we belong, we'll see that people pay attention to so many things that concern their lives. For example, when we look at our churches today, within a year, we'll see churches having different programs for the men, for the women, for the youth, for the children, but nothing for the parents. So many people got married without understanding what parenting entails. They think it's just about giving birth to children, providing their needs, making sure they pay their school fees, buy stuff for them, take them out, and do this. There are more to parenting than all this. It's good to do these things, it's part of parenting, but there is more to it. Parents hardly have time to interact with their children these days. Parents hardly have time to sit with their children to talk. The other day, I read something on social media. A lady said she saw two teenagers or girls around 18 discussing, and they said the sun was too hot and they wanted ice cream. One suggested that they should call a guy who had been asking them out to come and take them out, buy ice cream for them, and then they could go home and stay with the guy, that kind of thing. The other girl said no, she wasn't going to be part of it. The other one insisted. So the lady that overheard them listened to them. After the talk, she stopped. She approached them, gave 5,000 naira to the one who said she wasn't going to do it, and then told the other one to go to places or something like that. You see, this thing is the job of parents. I am not going to say what the lady did is 100% perfect. She could have talked to the other girl who insisted on sleeping with a guy for ice cream. You could talk to someone and tell her the dangers of her decision, not making her feel bad and then walking away. You didn't do justice to that situation. The end of that kind of thing. She must have caused a drift between those friends. The other one will get angry to that one she favored, and their friendship may have a K-leg henceforth. It may not end there. That one might harbor anger and resentment and waiting for a particular day to deal with the innocent girl. But that's story for another day. I don't blame her. Assuming parents did their job, their underground job, a stranger wouldn't have met their children discussing ice cream and man. What's the relationship? While growing up as a teenager, I met guys in that respect. Or okay, as a young adult, as a teenager, you see a guy on the road, he tell you, hey, I want to take you out, I want to take you to Mr. Biggs, I want to buy shawarma for you. When I buy these things for you, we can talk about the future. I like you, I want to marry you. We could resist these girls because we already know where we are coming from. Some children do not know where they are coming from because parents didn't do their job well. If you don't do your job well as a parent, uh, outsiders will do that job for you. People you do not know will do that job for you, and they may not do a good job. So raise your children well, teach them contentment. Your girls do not have any relationship with a man buying ice cream for them. If there is no money at home, it is your duty to let them understand that if they can't have money, they can still exist. Many of us grew up in poverty. My parents didn't have much, but I didn't go about sleeping with guys for money. We were instilled contentment, the virtue of contentment. Though see, our parents still had their lapses. But there were things we will never do today or we never did because our parents talked to us. And I'm not saying I had the best of parents. I only said parents should do their job. Talk to your children. If you don't have, it doesn't mean they should be misbehaving because parents could not provide. But then provide the major things your children need. A young girl in her teenage age, a young girl in the university who is not making money yet, is still your priority. You must provide her basic needs: pads, soap, money, pocket money, making of hairs, school fees, everything your daughter needs, you should provide. Not to say the boys should be overlooked, they also need things. Provide for your children. And while providing for them, talk to them about life. Sit down and talk to them. Use narratives, use issues happening in society to talk to them, teach them. Take them to places, let them observe things, let them learn. When if they finish observing, ask them what they learned from issues. Watch movies with them, then ask them to tell you what they would have done. Assuming the person did the wrong thing, ask them what would you have done if your young girl, your teenage daughter wants to run mad. They like exploring. They want to do this, do that. It is not the time to start cursing them, taking them to prayer houses for deliverance and saying they are possessed. They're not possessed. They are exploring. That is their stage. What you should do is sit down and talk to them. Then walk the talk. Some parents are not living a positive life. You're not living a good life. You want your children to live a good life. How possible is it? You should be your children's first example. Should be their first teacher. The teachers out there should be secondary to what you've taught them. And what you taught them should correlate with realities. Don't teach them things that when they find out the truth tomorrow, they start saying, my mother was a bad woman, had a bad father. No, be there at all times for them. The interhouse sports, everything they do, and parents are required to be present. Be present. Show them how to be parents so that they will always know that they are never, they are not supposed to bring shame home. Imagine a girl sleeping with a guy because of ice cream of 400 naira and getting pregnant, collecting STDs, collecting HIV, gonorrhea, herpes, and so many of them. How much is ice cream? How much is the cost of our life? Because the parents didn't do their underground job well. You see, there is a lot to be done. There is a lot to be done. Today, you see the kind of people who are role models to our teenagers on social media. You see the likes of Seda Budge proudly calling themselves. She called herself the voice of the girl child. See, that girl has many teenagers looking up to her. She has many of them. Something gave her that morale. And I'm telling you that it is not going to stop anytime soon. Many girls are going to come up in that because that's the people that people are paying attention to. That's the kind of things that bring money to people. So you have to teach your children about the dangers of following certain people. Talk to them. Teach them the right standard of living, the right way of life. Help them so that when they get there, they won't get confused. Their peers will not teach them the wrong things. They must have learned the right thing so that when they get there and they meet people living the wrong lives, they will say, no, this is not what I was taught by my parents. They can confidently come to you, confide in you when someone is trying to force them into a lifestyle that opposes what you taught them. And then you can stand up for them, can fight for them, can go to their school to tell their teachers, I don't want this. This is not the right thing. Look at what someone is doing. You know, these things, when your child sees you doing the right thing, they are going to follow your footsteps. The video is getting long. I'm stopping here.